Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to Siyasat.com English News. I'm Ayman Umar. All India Majlis-e-Ittehad al-Muslimin chief Asaduddin Owaisi has termed the violence in Uttar Pradesh Lakhimpur Kheri district as a state-sponsored violence and severely criticized the centre and Uttar Pradesh government over the incident in which 8 people including 4 farmers were killed. Speaking to ANI, Owaisi said in quote, "It is state-sponsored violence. Both the Uttar Pradesh government and the centre has to be blamed for this incident because the Home Ministry's Minister of State had made a provocative speech a few days ago that within 2 minutes they will finish off all things which led to this incident." He said that their demand for a fair investigation in this matter. The High Court or Supreme Court sitting judge should monitor the inquiry of this incident, the leader have said. Owaisi also informed that he plans to visit the violence-affected Lakhimpur Kheri district to show solidarity with the people who have been murdered by the Union Minister of State's son. Good news for people who are looking for jobs in Hyderabad as Mount Mercy School has decided to recruit teachers. The school has invited applications from graduates who have a positive attitude. Candidates will be offered salaries based on their skills. Currently, the school is looking for candidates who can teach physics, biology, mathematics, English, and social studies. The main block of the school is located at Brindavan Colony in Toli Choki, whereas the new block is at Yusuf Tekri, Toli Choki. Interested and eligible candidates can send their CVs to mount_mercy@yahoo.com, or they can also contact on the following cell phone numbers 905 99 21703 or 984 914 2128. Congress leader Muhammad Ali Shabbir has alleged that since 2014, 1,29,719 minority students in Telangana were forced to abandon their higher studies as the state government had failed to provide scholarships to them. Speaking to the media personnel, the former Congress minister alleged that due to the stoppage of scholarships and fees reimbursement program to the post-matric students, the state government has ruined the career of about 1.29 lakh students. He said many deserving students who had topped in the entrance examinations were forced to abandon their higher education because they were not financially able to pay the exorbitant fees. The leader reminded that during the Congress rule in 2013-14, over 1 lakh students have received post-matric scholarships at an estimated budget of 35.77 crore rupees. An elder's brother attempt to save his younger brother turned fatal after he fell into the Manjira river. The younger sibling was swept into the river first due to its high currents while he tried to click a selfie on its bank on Sunday. Muhammad Sohail jumped into the river to save his younger brother Muhammad Saif as the current swept him away. Saif was rescued by the irrigation staff from the crest gates at Singur Dam using a rope. Unfortunately, his elder brother was washed away. The crest gates were closed to look for Sohail, but the officials weren't able to find him. Locals in several areas downstream of the river found his floating body, but they were not able to retrieve it. Efforts to retrieve his body are still underway. A dargah in Nimuch district in Madhya Pradesh was at the end of an Islamophobic attack on Monday night, with Hindutva militants setting off explosives at the site using gunpowder. Hazrat Beda Beed Dargah Sharif was partially damaged in the attack. The caretaker of the Dargah Khadim, Noor Shah, and the pilgrims were brutally attacked with sticks. The perpetrators of the state crime threatened via pamphlet to kill Muslims in the locality if the tomb was rebuilt. They further claimed that the Dargah was involved in converting Hindus to Islam. Maktub Media spoke to journalist Kashif Khakwi, who stated that there were about 20 to 25 people demolishing the mosque. Noor Baba has filed a complaint, after which an FIR has been registered against 24 unidentified people under the Indian Penal Code for inciting riots, causing damage to the place of worship. The Supreme Court on Monday said no state shall deny the ex gratia compensation of 50,000 rupees to the next of kin of the deceased due to COVID-19 solely on the ground the death certificate does not mention the virus as the cause of death. The ex gratia compensation is to be disbursed within 30 days from the date of submitting the application to the concerned district disaster management authority, along with the proof of the death of the deceased due to the COVID-19 and the cause of death being certified as died due to COVID-19. The amount shall be provided by the concerned states from the State Disaster Response Fund and is to be disbursed by the District Disaster Management Authority or District Administration. The Taliban have said that they will preserve the empty niches of the two giant Buddhas in Bamia. The Buddhas of Bamia were two 6th century monumental statues, locally known as Salsal and Shamama, that were carved into the side of a cliff in Bamia. The Buddhas were destroyed by the Taliban in March 2001. The Taliban said the move had a specific purpose, noting that now the niches of Buddhas would be safeguarded, aimed at promoting the tourism sector of the country. Another Taliban member claimed that they have destroyed the Buddhas based on religious ideology in 2001. Earlier, the Taliban had said that nearly 40% of historical sites in Afghanistan's Herat province are in urgent need to be restored to prevent further damages. In a literal rag to riches story, 37 Keralites from India were among 40 Qatar-based Indian expatriates to have won the grand prize of 10 million dirham in the Big Ticket Abu Dhabi Series 232 draw held a day earlier on Sunday. The winner of the draw was Nahil Nizamuddin, who hails from Kerala and is an accounts representative in Qatar. He will share the win with 39 colleagues, and his share is 250,000 dirhams, which is estimated to be around 50 million Indian rupees. In total, there are 40 people who share the 20 crore rupees and 37 are Indians among them. All of them are from Kerala and other 3 are from Bangladesh. All the winners from Kerala work in different departments of the hypermarket accounts like purchasing and sales. They were all facing financial crisis, and the lucky draw could not have come at a better time for them. That's it for today. Thank you, viewers.